Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Not wasting any time in this match as we are heading straight into the second map and hopefully, or maybe, the final map here between these two guys. It's been a long day here on MLG Day 2. Very, very exciting matches, but we've been casting for 12 hours now.
It's been a full day, JP.
It's been a full day indeed. So, Rob, why don't you tell us over here what we got?
Over here, on the right side, he's up 1-0 in the series, JP. He's playing for Fnatic. It's alive.
Sounds like you're about to tell me a funny joke or something. Continue on.
Over here, in the blue Terran, he's 0-1 in the series. He's got to win 2 in a row to come back from this. It's FnaticRain.
In the blue Terran. He's wearing a suit.
Yep, in the blue. He's wearing Terran.
He's wearing Terran. I get it. I understand you, Rob. I get you.
Man, so that last match ended up being so fast. So Alive is clearly not afraid to make stuff happen when he sees a window of opportunity. He's not just going to play slow. He's not a timid player. He gets out there when he's confident.
Yeah, it's funny because sometimes, like you were just mentioning, players just get into this position where it's the correct decision, but it definitely takes some guts to do what Alive did to push forward there.
Yeah.
He definitely caught his opponent at the right time with some unsieged tanks and things like that. And he did have the tank advantage in terms of numbers from there on out. So he was just simply able to roll over his opponent. But moving out like that, it's definitely very special. I mean, even a player like Thorzane, who for so long everyone thought that his TVZ was so good and so, what am I trying to say, so intentional. When at the Red Bull LAN, he told us that it wasn't. He does that because he's unsure about moving out. So it just takes so much like that. With so much on the line here at MLG, I mean, I get it, man. I understand that it's nerve-wracking like that to move out and potentially just lose the game.
And we've got the scout of Rain making it out there. Not seeing too much different out of either of these players. As a matter of fact, everything has been just about identical, although Alive is just a shade ahead.
And right now, both players are looking very, very... Ooh, a second guess actually being added on from Alive. And it is really loud in here right now over on the main stage, Rob.
Oh, yes, it is, because tension is high and his excitement is rising.
So... we'll see here as now the factory finishes. Will he just add on the starport right away? Looks like he should as he starts the Hellion, and there it goes the starport. So with this second refinery, it makes me think that he will go for a cloaked Banshee this game. And what is this guy up to, as he will be not adding on, or he should be adding on a starport, unless he's going to lift off and land on that tech lab and go for some blue flame shenanigans.
Ooh. Oh, man. Well, he's got that first Hellion out. He is landing onto the tech lab. This is the moment of truth, JP. As soon as he oh, man, it's like you clicked it for him.
I did. I have that power. Should be a starport here pretty soon once he gets around 100 gas, of course, so he could utilize some drop plays. But here we go as the old switcheroo with the starport landing, and he does have enough starting.
Oh, yes, he does in just a few seconds. Cloak will start.
You need to calm down over there, Rob. Cloak starts.
Just for you, JP.
Here comes the Banshee in just about 30 gas. So this should do pretty well, honestly. You know, he doesn't have a reactor on this Rax. His marine count is going to be very low. He's utilizing a lot of his economy to go for this expansion. And with this blue flame, he hasn't even started the starport yet. So he's not going to have a Viking or anything out like that to deal with that Banshee. A small marine force here pushing across the map. It will, of course, meet this Hellion here in the center of the map. He's got to be careful, though, as you can control the Hellions very well against Marines, especially if they're lined up like that. That is why you just saw that little twitch in this army composition back to make sure they're not lined up.
So Rain's going to be in such an awkward spot when an engagement actually happens, because though he's not continuing Marine production, well, that's primarily because he's building a reactor on the barracks, because he's probably going to use that for the factory.
Rob, I'm getting a little bit worried though for Rain. I mean, he just dropped a mule.
Uh-huh.
Does not have at least 40 seconds out from having any energy to scan, and the Cloak Banshee actually is on the way with Cloak seconds from being finished here. Hellion about to pop up in the main, sees Blue Flame. That's going to make him play very defensive. Probably just throw these up very soon. Okay,
well, no, he's going to move. He sees Blue Flame and moves out with his Marines.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. So big point of really a pivotal point right now.
Look at that. Look at how beautiful that wall is. Quickly assembled.
Yeah.
Nice play. And the Banshee cloaking and moving in. Let's take a look at that energy. He's got at least 14 game seconds freebie of just straight up attacks with that Banshee climbing up the kill count. Oh man, and actually back home, we even see him pulling his Marines into his base. He doesn't even want to have to worry about all those Blue Flame Hellions. There's just so many out there. And now the second Banshee is moving in as well. He's moving his Marines into position to defend. And yes, he does kill off that Banshee, but I think that it was the 10-ish SCVs that were removed from the game first. And oh, wow.
Here comes that second Banshee flying in, cloaking a little bit earlier than it really has to. Scan about to occur here on this Banshee. He wants to make sure that his Marines are underneath it though, but the Marine count is incredibly low here. He's actually just losing so many of his SCVs. Second Viking pops out. There is the scan, and he should not actually escape this, as there it goes falling. But if you look real quick at the SCV count, 17 to 30, the damage is done. And this is not good. That's a lot of Blue Flame Hellions, but this tank will help a great deal in dealing with those Hellions.
Now, he lost a lot of Marines there. Previously, we saw him spreading out his army just a little bit better than that. So he could have come out further ahead and not had to wait as long for this next push, but I guess in his case, he is just not worrying about it. This is interesting, adding 3 factories.
He is, well, he needs to get this expansion up running soon, because with this amount of mech, I mean, it's incredibly hard to support mech. Even off of 4 gas, you really need like 5 or 6. So might just be going for a heavy Hellion here. As let's see, yes, he is actually going very, very heavy Hellion, getting the Infernal Pre-Igniter there. One of them with the reactor, the other 2 not. This Rax though will allow him for the switch though. Orbital about to land right around the same time as Alive's command center lands, and here in the center of the map, this one tank is tasked with taking out a whole lot of Hellions.
Oh, actually,
he's controlling it very, very well.
Well, there's just so many Hellions.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I think that he thought
that was
there
like
were still only like 4 out there.
Right. That was like watching a Centaur or something like that fight a bunch of goblins, where the goblins just basically take him down, man. I don't know. That's where my mind is right now, Rob. Centaurs and goblins. Think about it. No thoughts at all. Rob has completely lost his mind, guys, after that incredible stake. So here, actually, we have some Vikings landing, and they're going to try to chip away at the SCV count, and that's a very awkward position for FnaticAlive to really deal with, because those Hellions cannot really line up all that well.
No, they can't. Now it puts the SCVs in a strange spot as well, like not sure exactly where to bring them. And now the Blue Flame Hellions are coming in. He could wrap up the remainder of that force. Oh, yes, and this is exactly the barbecue that Rain needs to get back into this party.
Yeah, that was a huge, huge diversion there with these 3 Vikings. Now we have to lift this orbital, and this is not good whatsoever for Alive. So if Alive loses this, I believe he will not tie for first in his group, because it is decided by win-loss, correct?
I would imagine that that's the first tie-break scenario, but I guess we'd have to check the official rules, because that stuff gets sneaky. Yeah. So here is the orbital. This is actually just losing so much, but now just so many Hellions here for Rain. He's starting to chip away, and at the very last second, Alive did raise his depots. That orbital is getting quite low, but now the Vikings are landing up on top and doing its best to deal with this. And a Rax all the way from Rain's main base has made it in Alive's. I don't know how. That's just kind of silly. Huh. Yeah, I mean, Rain's doing what he wants.
Yeah.
So Rain's getting in here, not allowing, clearly by no stretch allowing Alive to win.
Yeah.
I mean, Alive had a significant lead there, but that Viking play was very nice. Yep. All of those Blue Flame Hellions were even better.
Right. And here comes another set of Hellions. Good game. Going to game 3 here Rain actually played that pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in a rough spot. He still took his expansion.
It
He
was
landed
like
all of the Vikings.
he was the Goblin Chief over a bunch of little goblins, Rob. You know what I'm saying?
I know that coming up next is going to be Game 3 between Alive and Rain. So ladies and gentlemen, be sure to stay tuned for more TVT action. I'm Rob Simpson.
And I am JP McDaniel, I guess a wizard or something, because I'm in the land of magic. We'll be right back after this quick break for Game 3.